Imagine this. The sea is calm, the horizon endless, and suddenly a signal breaks the silence. It is June 1947, South China Sea. A Dutch ship, the SS Ourang Medan, sends a desperate cry for help. The message is fragmented, broken by static. A voice whispers, "All officers, including the captain, are dead." The signal continues, lying in chart room and bridge. Possibly whole crew dead. Then silence. Minutes later, one final message comes, the voice shaking. "I die." And then, nothing. A rescue vessel, the Silver Star, races to the coordinates. Hours pass. Finally, the crew sees it. A giant ship, drifting, silent, still. A ghost in the middle of the ocean. They board the Ourang Medan. What they find is beyond belief. The entire crew lay frozen, eyes wide open, faces twisted, in horror, mouths gaping as if screaming in their last breath. Even the ship's dog, teeth bared, eyes wide. But the strangest part, there are no wounds, no signs of struggle, no blood, just bodies, lifeless, terrified. The rescuers search for answers, but before they can investigate further, smoke begins to rise. Fire erupts from the cargo hold. The Silver Star crew rushes back to their ship. Moments later, boom! The Ourang Medan explodes and sinks into the sea. Forever lost. To this day, no one knows the truth. Poison gas, secret weapons, or something not of this world. The ocean keeps its secrets, but one thing is certain. The Ourang Medan will sail forever as the ghost ship that screamed before it died. December 4th, 1872. The Atlantic Ocean. A British ship, the Dei Gratia, spots a vessel drifting aimlessly. It is the Mary Celeste, a fine brigantine. But something is wrong. No distress signals, no crew on deck, just silence. The sailors board the vessel. What they find shocks them. The ship is intact, the cargo untouched, the captain's logbook still on the desk. Food and water supplies, enough for 6 months. Even clothes neatly folded, in drawers. But the crew, gone, every single one. The lifeboat is missing. But why abandon a seaworthy ship? Why leave behind valuables, belongings, their very lives? Theories spread like wildfire. Pirates, storms, mutiny. But none explain the mystery. There were no signs of struggle, no blood, no violence. Some believe the crew panicked, a faulty compass, fumes from the alcohol cargo. Maybe they thought the ship was sinking. They could have escaped in the lifeboat, only to vanish forever into the endless sea. Others whisper darker stories, curses, sea monsters, or something that climbed aboard and dragged them into the deep. What makes the Mary Celeste terrifying is not what was found, but what was left behind. A ship perfectly alive, without its soul. To this day, the Mary Celeste remains one of the most enduring ghost ship mysteries. A reminder that the ocean does not just swallow ships. It swallows people and leaves behind only silence. Now, let's go back even further to a legend whispered for centuries. The most famous ghost ship of all, the Flying Dutchman. The story begins in the 1600s. A Dutch captain, Hendrik van der Decken, sails around the Cape of Good Hope. The seas are violent, winds howl, waves crash like mountains. His crew begs him to turn back, but the captain refuses. He swears an oath that he will complete his journey, no matter what, even if it means sailing until Judgment Day. The storm rages on. The ship is battered, but it does not sink. It does not die. From that day, the Flying Dutchman is cursed, condemned to roam the oceans forever. Sailors through history claim to have seen it. A ghostly vessel, glowing in the night, Sails torn, crew of shadows, appearing out of fog, then vanishing in an instant. In 1881, even Prince George of Wales, the future King George V of England, reported sighting the Dutchman. He described a ship phosphorescent, ghostly, sailing with no one alive on board. The legend says, if you see the Flying Dutchman, it is a bad omen, a warning of death at sea. But the truth? No one knows. Was it a mirage, a trick of the light, or is there truly a cursed ship sailing the oceans for eternity? The Flying Dutchman is not just a story. It is a shadow, a warning, and a reminder that some ships never reach port. Some ships never die. They simply sail forever.